Welcome back to my channel. As a lot of you seen in my last video, my sister was too tired and didn't make the first one. She will not be in this one either because we talked a little bit and she's not too big on the idea of being a vlogger right now, and she doesn't like being on the internet like that. So for now it's just going to be my channel, so I just wanted to put that out there. So if y'all see a lot of videos with just me in it and not her, that's why. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Alrighty, so to get right into the video, this video is going to be about Larsen syndrome, or LS, and what it's about, what it is, and like the background history of it, how you get it, etc. So it might be a lengthy video, so just bear with me, and if you want to learn about what I have and things like that, just keep watching the video. Alrighty guys, so I'm just going to head right on into this video. Just a little disclaimer, I do have flashcards that I'm going to be reading off of because I have horrible memory and I will forget what I'm saying or I may repeat myself. So I do have flashcards. So here goes. Okay, like, what is Larsen syndrome? A lot of people don't know what it is. They're like, what is that? I've never heard of it. It is a rare genetic disorder. A lot of people think it is just, oh, it's a bone disorder. It just makes you walk different. No, I'm here to tell you it's a lot more than that. It affects every part of your body, every system, your joints, your bones, your cardiac system, your immune system, stuff like that. You get sick a lot easier. So I just wanted to make that clear. The most common characteristics are dislocations of large joints. So like my elbows are dislocated. You can kind of see it's not shaped like everyone else's. My knees and hips are also dislocated due to LS, which is Larsen syndrome. You'll hear me say LS a lot. There are also skeletal disformations or malformations, sorry. Those are like abnormal joints, like my joints. When I have an x-ray done, it don't look like a normal person's x-ray. Mine look different. You can tell my joints are disformed. And there are distinctive facial features and limb features that allow the doctors and physicians to know you have Larsen syndrome. Like, as you can see right here, I have no bridge. It's flattened right here. Also have a very prominent forehead. It's thicker and wider than it usually is. And also on my fingers, as a lot of people have noticed, right here is wider, and sometimes they're round, and on some people they're squarish, but mine are round, and a lot of people will refer to it as hammer fingers or hammer toes. I know that sounds weird. I used to hate that word, but I'm used to it now. So, but yeah, the edges of my fingers, as you can see, my fingers are also crooked due to the bones, but the edges of my fingers are more round than others. My fingers, I don't know if you can tell in this video, but are also longer than what normal fingers are. And I also have extra fingers in my hands and my feet. I think you're only supposed to have like 8 in your feet and like 10 in your hands, somewhere around there. I'm not entirely exactly sure on the number, but I think I have 11 in my feet and 13 in my hands. So I do have extra bones. There are additional features to scoliosis, such as scoliosis. Sorry guys, I think I messed up on that. Additional features of Larsen syndrome are scoliosis, club feet, and short stature. A lot of our friends know that we are only 4'7". We are really short, and even though we're 21, we look like we're maybe 15, 16 because we're so short. The Larsen syndrome is a mutation of the FLNB gene, which is also found on chromosome 3. Another thing is Larsen syndrome varies in ways and like the severity of it depending on the case and the person, male, female. In our case, our legs weren't really bad and weren't like the worst of it. We definitely do not have the worst of Larsen syndrome. We actually have a mild to moderate case of it. Like my mom, she had a worse case, has a worse case than we do because her legs were bent over her shoulders and turned backwards. So her case was a lot more severe than ours. And I just wanted to point this out. Usually LS patients, they're usually confined to a wheelchair. They don't usually walk, and they don't live to be maybe past their mid-20s. So I'm almost there. I also wanted to point this out. If y'all do research this later on, because there's a lot of medical talk, a lot of information. If y'all do want to research this later on after this video, y'all will see a lot on Larsen syndrome, but you will also see a lot, or you might see a little bit pop up on like Larson's, and like Larson's is fatal. Anyone who has it does not live past the age of 3, or anyone that has been diagnosed with it has not lived past the age of 3 that physicians have seen. And LS patients will live to like them until usually their mid-20s, 30s. Some can live into their 50s and 60s and 70s. But I just wanted to point that out. So if you see like Larson's, that is not what I have. I don't know a lot of information on that besides the living past 3. So if you have questions about like Larson's, I'm not going to be able to answer those at this time because I don't know a lot of information on it. But if you have any questions about LS, please feel free to comment below and I will answer any questions you have. To get on to the next topic, I'm going to be talking about the signs and symptoms of LS. As I've said before, the severity of the disease varies between person to person. In a large family whose members had LS caused by one of the recurring mutations, some affected people have cleft palates and multiple dislocations, and some can have no major deformities or abnormalities, and some only have a short stature, so they don't have the distinct characteristics and more noticeable ones as others. And some mild features that they may have is like short fingers and short tip bones, like I explained. That's why mine is like rounded. Short stature is a common thing with Larsen syndrome. A lot of people I know that have it, which I know a few. All of them are short, or some are a little under average. You don't really see a lot of tall people with it. It is so common with height. It is below the 10th percentile in 70% of cases. We do have the autosomal dominant gene. I may have said that wrong. I'm not really good at all these medical terms either. But the dominant gene just means that we have it. You know, you can see it. You can tell we were diagnosed with it. So if we have kids, more than likely they're going to have it. It's kind of a 50-50 chance. My mom had it, and so we got it. And my sister, as a lot of our Facebook friends know, my sister is pregnant, so probably about 50-60% her child will have it. But luckily, we know how to deal with it. Some symptoms are present at birth. That's usually how doctors diagnose it. The dislocations are present. 80% of the hip and 80% of the knee is dislocated, and then 65% of the elbow is dislocated. Clubfoot is present in about 75% of people in the United States. I'm not really sure if I have club feet or not. I know my feet are a little turned outwards, like my mom's. So our feet are a little turned outward. Some people it's turned in. Again, it just depends on the severity. Joints of LS patients can be extremely lax or loose, which is called hypermobility. That makes us more prone to dislocation, besides the ones we already got. Fingers may also be short and broad with rounded and square tips, which I've already mentioned. We do have extra bones in our hands and feet, which I mentioned earlier as well. Spinal abnormalities occur in 84% of patients, and it can be scoliosis or cervical kyphosis, which that only occurs in about 50% of patients.